Hi, how great to have you here. Thank you for joining. I'm wanting to talk to you about the Enlightenment event in August and what we're up to so that you can choose if it's something that's for you. So if you've been in my world, you've probably already been following along with the journey of the Enlightenment event, but you might be brand new. So I'm going to do some recap and reconnect to what we're doing, why we're doing it, and help you understand what we're doing in August and therefore whether that's actually for you and the right thing to do to join. So the Enlightenment event is a really incredible, powerful, unique, literally one of its kind. I've never come across any program like this ever, and I've done a lot of development. This program is set up to move through the layers of our system, which collect the conditioning that we've experienced in life. So many people who are in any kind of personal development or in any kind of spiritual exploration can often have reached a point where they can see the logic of their thinking. They can see that, oh, that thought's not true. They can see that whatever the childhood narrative that's playing out was for the child, is not for me now as an adult. We can see it all so logically. We can see the domino effect of, oh, every time I believe this, then this happens and that happens and that happens. And we end up in suffering, or we end up in a difficult situation and suffering with another. So we can sometimes see it all. We can sometimes see it all so clearly, and yet the same stuff keeps playing out. Like, oh my God, why am I still reacting in this way? Why am I still contracting in this way? Why am I still resisting? Why am I still fighting this person over this thing when I know it's not going anywhere? Why do I keep falling into the same trap? Why do I keep self-sabotaging? Why do I keep procrastinating? Why do I keep overdoing it? All of the stuff that we get frustrated with ourselves about, where we're like, why? Why is this still my experience? Why hasn't it gone yet? And when we feel like we've seen it at this logical level, like we get it, we understand the beliefs that are playing out. We understand that, oh, well, given I believe this, then that's going to happen. It makes logical sense. And yet my system is still reacting. So the point of this journey was to bring us through a complete journey of enlightenment. First of all, in February, how we make visible, how we get to see what's playing out in our experience and is even available for enlightening, what's available for clearing out of our conditioned system. In March, we then moved into psychological enlightenment. So even if we think we know all about the thoughts and the thinking and the beliefs, there was a wealth of new and fresh perspectives and angles in that, which helped provide both practical ways to inquire into our thinking, but also had us step back completely and go, but what even is this thing called thinking that we're getting so entangled with? Then in April, we moved into emotional enlightenment. So very often what can happen is that once we've lightened our relationship with our thoughts and thinking, we can then get much clearer visibility and access to what's going on emotionally. And we can see like, oh, wow, look how this emotion is still coming up, even though logically I know it's not true. The emotion, the reaction, the feeling is still happening. To try and push away, to try and resist, to try and avoid, to try and distract, deny, dismiss. So in April, we looked at the emotional, we looked at making friends with the emotional, really coming into close relationship with it. But we also looked at the power of shaking, trauma and tension release exercises, which literally shake the emotional system free of the fight, flight, freeze response, which we have collected and collected and collected. And our natural response is to shake, but we've mostly all overridden that. So we learned in April how to remember that natural capacity to shake in a purposeful and conscious way that provides the same release that the system really has wanted every single time we've contracted into threat state. It provides that natural capacity to release and let everything in the emotional system start moving as it's meant to again. Then in May, we looked at physical enlightenment, and again, another really powerful month where we looked at the power of breath and the power of the voice. Two ways of coming into the body, using the breath and using the voice to connect with the physical body. Not all of these, no real intention of and then the conditioning will be gone. The whole ethos, the whole underlying premise of everything we've done in this journey has been meet the system, include it, be with it as it is and as it wants to be. And then on the other side of that, we experience a lighter experience. And so May was no different, bringing the breath into the physical system to meet the body as it is, bringing sound, using the voice to meet the body as it is, to really connect into the physical body. Then we moved in June onto spiritual enlightenment, which really means awakening. We were looking at the fact of our spiritual nature with different modalities, different approaches through direct path and through progressive path, but both of which are valuable ways and options, depending on what you feel most aligned to at any particular point in your journey, both of which bring us back to our spiritual essence, our spiritual nature, that which we are before any awareness of a human experience, the ground of our being, which, given it's called that, is where we feel most grounded, where we feel most secure, most ourselves, most okay. And so we did that through June. And then in July, we had holistic enlightenment, holistic enlightenment, where we brought in modalities that are really energetic. What it turned into, which I hadn't been expecting, was that holistic enlightenment really meant energetic. It meant getting into contact with ourselves at the level of energy, in that which comes again before the body, before the emotions, before the thoughts, before the feelings, before any experience of a physical world. And connecting in at that energetic level, which is a much deeper level of that programmed system, to release and resolve and bring light to that, bring love to that, light the fire from that space, the deeper ground of our human experience. And so that full 6 months journey concluded at the end of July, ready for opening into August, which for those who've travelled that 6 months, there's an integration period now with August. I paused there because I want to really highlight at this point, there are 3 reasons you might want to join in August. So first of all is that one I've just described. For everybody who's travelled those 6 months together, it is like, wow, phenomenal, let's take a pause. We sometimes can disregard the pause in life. And so August is such a valuable, valuable time to pause and integrate and to really just let everything sink in and settle in and come into connection in the system, bringing all these puzzle pieces together. So the system can kind of go like, oh, okay, let me just recalibrate myself based on what we've just done. Let me just figure out where I am now and what we're doing. And okay, how do we live from here? So August is an amazing integration month for the people who've been on that full 6 month journey and are so ready and perfectly ready for this integration. I mean, this whole journey, the consistent thing that people have said is like, oh, the next right thing just keeps coming. It's like 1 month has perfectly unfolded and unfolded into the next. It has literally been magical the way that's happened. So that now in August, it is again the most perfect timing to have some pause, to have some integration space. We do have 2 calls this month, 2 live calls, so that we get to come together as a group and talk about experiences and share. And those calls are open to everybody who joins for August, because whether you've been here for the 6 months prior or not, you will get insights, you will get realizations, you will get to spark possibilities of what you want to engage with. So first option, people who've been here for the full 6 months, August is an incredible opportunity to stay engaged in the community, to stay engaged with the program, to get the 2 live calls, 90-minute calls at the beginning and at the end of the month, and to be in life, living life, while also having the support and the connection of the people around you in this space. The second reason you might want to join this journey through August is if you've perhaps dipped in to a month or 2 while we've been travelling along. And you might be feeling there's something to reconnect to, but you don't necessarily know what it is. There might be a particular month that you think you want to dive into, but you're not totally sure. There might be a few months that you think you want to dive into, but you're not totally sure. You might just know there's something to do, but you don't know what it is. And so by coming into August, you'll still get to join the calls. As I say, that could well spark something, that could well have you go, yeah, now I know what I want to do. That's just had me realise it's my emotional stuff I want to connect with more on, or it's my spiritual stuff I want to connect more on. It can help you shape what you then do for the rest of the month. So call 1, on the 7th of August, spark some stuff, off you go into the archived content from the past months, diving into and exploring and reconnecting or engaging fresh with anything that's in there that feels like your right thing to do right now. And then again, you've got the call at the end of the month, which will be an opportunity to come back together and reconnect together. So kind of like your own self-made journey, but being able to top and tail it with live calls so that you can use the first call as your let me get sparked to decide where I'm going to go. And then your last call to round that all off. The third group of people who might be interested in this are those who've not engaged with this at all. So you may have been sitting on the sidelines wondering about it, or you might have just come here today absolutely fresh, brand new. And this is you literally hearing about it for the first time. Just so you know, there are lots of other videos you can watch if you want to check out more content before you jump in. But there is an open space here for you to do whatever you like with it. So you might want to do the same as that last group I talked about. You might want to come in to the opening call on the 7th, listen to the conversation, listen to the kind of things people are talking about, listen to the things they've done, listen to the months or the modalities that have made the difference for them. And you might want to use that as your jump off point to then decide where you spend your time during the month. Or you might have a specific month you absolutely know you want to engage with. Great. You can come in, join for that month of August, dive into the content for the month that you're particularly interested in. So whether you want to go back to March or to July or February, doesn't matter. You can come in and just dive into that month and have your own self-led program through that month's content. We're all still there in that space to be able to have conversation and ask stuff and share stuff that comes up along the way. So it's not as if you're completely isolated in a self-study program. It's still very much a live space and we're all still in there to have the conversation. The other option you might want to come in with, if you're brand new and you've not engaged with anything yet, you might want to literally come in and start from February. You might think, I want to do this whole journey. I want to do this like everyone else has been doing it. I've been seeing the feedback, I've been seeing the impact this has been having for people. I've been seeing that those who have been in it for the full 6 months are getting the most benefit. I want to do that whole thing. I want to follow the whole program. Great. So you come in, you go back to February, you start and you move through each month as we all did from the beginning. Again, we're all still in there. It's still a live, active space. It's not a closed off, separate self-study thing. So you get the best of both. You get to do the self-study, do it in your own time, do it at your own pace, and the benefit of having us all there for conversation as and when you want it. Plus the live calls in August, so you can join and be part of those experiences too. And then you get to have your own self-paced version of the 6 months that we've done. You can follow just straight through, start to finish, and you can stay for as long as you like. You know, it doesn't have to be, oh my God, I've got to do 6 months worth of content in a month. No, not at all. You can do it over 6 months, the same as we did. We've had a session every single week for 6 months. You can do the exact same and follow the journey as it was originally designed. Because the space is staying open. Currently, the plan is that it's going to stay open till April next year. So you have plenty of time to come and join and do the full 6 months and join August's calls to get the benefit of that live interaction. So what's your choice? What's it feeling like for you? If we've got option 1, which is you've been in the full 6 months and August is the month for integration and for processing and for living life and connecting on calls, amazing. I would love to see you there. If you've dipped in at some point for a month or 2 and you want to come back, and either you know what you want to come back for, or you just want to come back and see what you're inspired to do, again, you get to come to the live calls in August. Be amazing to have you there. Be amazing to see what gets sparked and where you get guided and what you want to dive back into to reconnect with. Or you might be brand new. You might want to do the same as that second group and just see what sparks from the first call and dive into that. And then follow your guide, follow your inner guidance to what's next, what's next, what's next. Or you might want to come in and start from the very beginning in February and follow that full 6-month program just as we did, either doing it across the 6 months or doing it in your own time. 3 calls this week, no calls next week, 2 calls the week after. You can make it work however you want to make it work. So I really feel there is something for everybody with this month, and in fact beyond. So just to give you a little heads up in terms of September and October, from the beginning of September, for the 6 weeks, from the start of September to the middle of October, we're going to be having a weekly call where we reconnect on each of those 6 themes, 1 each week. Make it visible, psychological, emotional, physical, spiritual, holistic. So we're going to reconnect on those 6 themes, 1 a week for 6 weeks. So it'll be like a summary, a reconnection for the individual, each person to be able to go, yeah, what was this month about for me? What did I get from it? What do I want to re-engage with this week from that month to see what I get fresh, to see what more I could have got from that call, to see what I maybe missed first time, or to remind myself of what the brilliance was from that particular one. So that across that 6 weeks, it's like, oh yeah, I love that. Why am I not doing that? Let me go back to that. Let me reignite that spark with that particular modality, with that particular teacher, that particular expert, and see if there's something I want to reignite in my day-to-day world. So that then we have an amazing like mini immersion into all 6 sessions from beginning of September to middle of October. A little bit of a pause while you go and step back and process and integrate. And then we celebrate at the end of October for the end of our full 9-month journey. Again, the doors are open till April 2025. So through all of this time from now onwards, there is the option to come in and explore and experiment and test and learn and see what you're sparked by, see what you're drawn to, see what feels good for you. It's now it's always been an open space, but it's an even more open space now to come and create the program the way you want it to be. Come and create and follow the months you want to follow. Come and create your own bespoke, unique journey with 6 months worth of content already there in the bag, amazing, right there, ready for you. And as I say, still with people around if you want us. Me, the other experts, the rest of the group who are on the journey, we're all there, ready to be in conversation if you want to be. If you want to share questions, if you want to share your experiences, that's all still part of the process. As I say, it's not a separate self-study program where you're locked in a little online room on your own. We're in that shared online space together. So have a think. What feels good for you? What do you want to move with? Are you 1, 2, or 3? Are you a 6-monther who's ready for integration? Have you been a dip in and outer who wants to come back and reconnect and re-inspire yourself and reinvigorate your exploration? Or are you brand new and you've got a whole amazing box here of juicy delights to come and dive into, all designed to enlighten your experience, all designed to resolve and release conditioning from your system so that you get to live in more feelings of peace, of freedom, of lightness, of enjoyment, of being your aligned expression in the world, because that feels so good. And I want more people to feel that. So thank you so much for watching. I really value that you've taken your time to watch this video and right to the end. So get in touch with any questions. Drop me DMs, drop me email, drop me whatever through the website. There's so many, plenty of ways to get in touch through all the various channels that I'm on. So reach out in whatever way makes sense for you, wherever you are. And I really, really look forward to welcoming you into August. All right, take care. Much love.